Carnival operates 29 ships right now. Some of them are real value. Some of them you will regret the moment you board. This is every single one of them, ranked from worst to best, so you never book the wrong one by accident. Number 29, Carnival Elation. Now we start at the bottom of the barrel, and this one earns its spot. Elation is a fantasy-class ship built in 1998, and while the name sounds promising, the reality of boarding one of Carnival's oldest active vessels is a lot less exciting. The ship is small, around 70,000 gross tons with fewer than 2,200 passengers, and it shows its age in ways a fresh coat of paint can't fix. Limited dining options, no water slides, minimal entertainment compared to every other ship in this fleet. If you're the kind of person who researches before booking, I'd avoid Elation. There are better options at the same price. Number 28, Carnival Paradise. Paradise is Elation's twin sister, also fantasy class, also from 1998, and shares almost all the same drawbacks. The ship originally launched as Carnival's first non-smoking vessel, a marketing story that nobody talks about anymore. What passengers do talk about is the outdated layout, the limited balcony staterooms, and the fact that the things newer Carnival ships do effortlessly just don't exist here. Short sailings from Tampa keep it busy, but if you can choose between Paradise and almost anything else on the list, choose almost anything else. Number 27, Carnival Encounter. Encounter joined the Carnival fleet in 2025 after being transferred from P&O Australia when that brand was dissolved. Now, on paper, it sounds like a bonus ship. In practice, it brings a design philosophy that doesn't quite fit Carnival's DNA. More subdued, less energy, a layout built for a different kind of passenger. The ship was originally a Grand Class vessel from the Princess Cruises, and that heritage still shows in its bones. It's not bad by any measure. It just feels like a ship that belongs somewhere else, sailed by a crowd that was expecting something different. Number 26, Carnival Adventure. Same story as Encounter. Another P&O Australia transfer that landed in the Carnival fleet in 2025. Adventure came from Princess Cruises before that, and it has a calmer, more traditional feel that sits oddly within a line built on high-volume fun. The dining rooms are elegant, the layout is structured, and the vibe leans quiet. For the right passenger, this is actually appealing. But if you book a Carnival cruise expecting Carnival energy and end up on Adventure, you might spend the whole sailing wondering what happened. Know what you're booking. Number 25, Carnival Spirit. Spirit is the first of the Spirit class ships when it launched in 2001, and while the class introduced some features Carnival later became known for, including the retractable dome over the pool deck, the ship is showing its mileage now. Spirit sails longer itineraries, including Australia and the Pacific, which gives it some route appeal. But step on board and the age gap between Spirit and even a mid-tier Carnival ship from 2012 is immediately obvious. Less to do, more dated public spaces, and a dining lineup that cannot compete with newer vessels in the fleet. Number 24, Carnival Legend. Legend is another Spirit-class ship built in 2002, and it carries the same core limitations as Spirit. Smaller size, older hardware, fewer bells and whistles. What Legend does have is a dedicated fan base. Certain passengers love the more intimate scale, the retractable pool dome that makes northern itineraries more bearable, and the fact that it doesn't try to be everything it wants. It's a polarizing ship. People either enjoy the old-school Carnival feel, or they book a newer vessel and never look back. I lean toward the latter. Number 23, Carnival Miracle. Miracle is the last purpose-built Spirit-class ship Carnival built, launched in 2004, and it's the best of the bunch. The layout is familiar. The ship is on the smaller side compared to modern Carnival vessels, but Miracle has Guy's Burger Joint, the steakhouse, and most of the fun 2.0 upgrades that keep it from feeling completely out of time. It sails some Alaska itineraries, which gives it an advantage in terms of port destinations. It's solid, but unremarkable. Now, if Miracle is your only option for a specific sailing, it will not ruin your trip. Number 22, Carnival Pride. Pride's often described as one of the most aesthetically distinctive ships in the Carnival fleet, and there is truth to that. The interior design has a European art theme that actually feels different from the usual Carnival sensibility. Sailing primarily from Baltimore, Pride serves a market where options are limited, and it does the job well. But it's still Spirit class, still from 2002, and the hardware has not kept pace with the fleet's newer editions. It's reliable for what it is, a manageable mid-size ship with solid character, but real age. Number 21. Carnival Luminosa. Luminosa is a former Costa Cruises ship that joined the Carnival fleet in 2022 and sails year-round from Brisbane, Australia. For passengers in that market, it's a useful option. Spirit class size, reasonable amenities, tropical itineraries through the South Pacific and New Zealand. For most passengers reading this who are sailing from a U.S. port, Luminosa is irrelevant to your planning. It ranks here because the Costa heritage means some design choices feel misaligned with standard Carnival expectations, and the ship has not been fully brought in line with what passengers on American sailings expect. Number 20. Carnival Conquest. Conquest was the first of the Conquest-class ships in 2002, and at the time felt enormous. At 110,000 gross tons, it was a genuine leap forward for Carnival. Now it's a mid-size ship in a fleet that includes 183,000-ton behemoths. The core amenities are there. Multiple dining options, the casino, entertainment venues, a water park. And the ship keeps a loyal passenger base. But it is not the ship you should be excited about booking in 2026. It'll get the job done, particularly on Caribbean sailings, but it is firmly middle of the road. Number 19. Carnival Valor. Valor is the Conquest class's third ship, launched in 2004, and it sails from New Orleans year-round. Its positioning out of New Orleans gives it a personality boost. The Gulf of Mexico sailings attract a crowd that knows how to have a good time, and the ship absorbs that energy well. Valor has the Fun 2.0 upgrades, solid dining, and a layout that still functions well despite its age. Nothing here will blow your mind, but nothing will disappoint you either. New Orleans departure points are convenient for a large slice of the U.S. population, which keeps Valor relevant. Number 18. Carnival Glory. Glory is impossible to talk about without mentioning the 2019 Cozumel incident, when the ship collided with the docked Carnival Legend, creating one of the most dramatic pieces of cruise footage that year. The ship was fully refurbished in 2022, so the physical ship is in fine shape. Glory sails Caribbean itineraries with the full Conquest-class playbook, solid entertainment, decent dining, crowd-pleasing energy. It's a perfectly acceptable ship. The collision history is just a footnote now, but it lives in the conversation every time someone searches for this vessel. Number 17. Carnival Liberty. Liberty holds a specific piece of Carnival history. It was the first ship in the entire fleet to receive the Fun Ship 2.0 upgrades back in 2011, introducing Guy's Burger Joint to the fleet for the first time. Now that distinction matters less now that nearly every ship has the same upgrades, but Liberty was the test case that proved the concept worked. Sailing from New Orleans, it serves a similar crowd to Valor with similar results. The ship runs well, passengers enjoy it, and the New Orleans departure is one of the strongest U.S. embarkation experiences available. Number 16. Carnival Freedom. Freedom is the newest Conquest-class ship, launched in 2007, and it benefits from being the most recently built in that lineup. The extra few years of refinement show in small ways. Layout tweaks, updated venues, a slightly more polished overall feel. Freedom primarily sails from Florida with Caribbean itineraries, making it convenient for a large portion of Carnival's core passenger base. In 2026, it's scheduled for a dry dock followed by a Mediterranean sailing and transatlantic voyage, which adds some genuine itinerary appeal that its class siblings cannot match this year. Number 15. Carnival Splendor. Splendor is the only ship in its own class, a single vessel sitting between the Conquest and Dream generations. It has a sliding glass roof over the main pool, which sounds gimmicky but is actually useful on Australian sailings where the weather is unpredictable. Splendor sails from Australia year-round, which limits its relevance for U.S. passengers but also means it serves a market where it performs well. The ship has Fahrenheit 555, Guy's Burger Joint, and the standard amenity lineup. It's not the most exciting vessel in the fleet, but it holds its own. Number 14. Carnival Sunshine. Sunshine started life as Carnival Destiny, the ship that became the world's largest passenger vessel when it launched in 1996. It received one of the biggest refurbishments in cruise history, emerging as Carnival Sunshine with an almost unrecognizable interior. New dining venues, updated staterooms, expanded outdoor spaces. The transformation was dramatic. What it could not change is the underlying hull and layout, which occasionally reminds you that this ship was designed in the early 1990s. The seams show in the flow of the public spaces if you know where to look. Still a solid mid-tier option, but not a ship to seek out. Number 13. Carnival Sunrise. Sunrise tells a similar story to Sunshine. Born as the Carnival Triumph, a ship that became infamous in 2013 when an engine room fire stranded passengers for sea days, leading to what the media labeled as the Poop Cruise. The subsequent $200 million overhaul turned Triumph into Sunrise, with new dining, redesigned spaces, and a physical transformation that distanced the vessel from its troubled history. The ghosts are gone from the ship itself. What remains is a solid mid-tier option for short sailings out of New York, with enough updated amenities to feel relevant without feeling truly modern. Number 12. Carnival Radiance. Radiance is the sister ship to Sunrise, originally launched as Carnival Victory in 2000 before its own $200 million overhaul in 2021. The transformation brought new dining venues, redesigned public spaces, and refreshed staterooms, the same recipe that worked for Sunrise. Radiance sails from Long Beach, serving the West Coast market, and that positioning gives it a built-in audience that does not want to fly cross-country just to embark. The refurbishment work holds up well. Radiance is a solid ship in a great deployment location. West Coast passengers have limited Carnival options, and Radiance is the better one. Number 11. Carnival Dream. Dream was the ship that transitioned Carnival into the large, amenity-heavy era. 130,000 gross tons when it launched in 2009, a significant jump from the Conquest class. The Dream class introduced waterworks, the expanded dining lineup, and a layout that felt properly modern at the time. Dream sails from New Orleans year-round, which gives it the same crowd advantage as Valor and Liberty. The hardware is now 15 years old, and the newer classes in this fleet have clearly moved past it. But Dream still functions well, delivers a consistent experience, and holds its own at that price level. Number 10. Carnival Magic. Magic is the second Dream-class ship launched in 2011, and it benefits from 2 extra years of refinement over Dream. The layout flows a little better, the dining options are solid, and Waterworks gives families a dedicated reason to stay on the ship on sea days. Magic sails Caribbean itineraries from Port Canaveral and has built a loyal repeat passenger base. It's not glamorous or cutting edge, but it is a reliable, well-rounded mid-sized ship that delivers exactly what Carnival promises at the price point. No surprises in either direction. Number 9. Carnival Breeze. Breeze is the newest and best of the Dream class, launched in 2012, and it earned its reputation as a crowd favorite early and never lost it. The tropical decor is lighter and more airy than its Dream class siblings. The layout feels intuitive, and the combination of Waterworks, solid specialty dining, and a comfortable main dining room hits the right balance. Breeze sails from Galveston, making it the primary option for Texas and Gulf region passengers. If you're in that market and can't access a newer ship, Breeze is not a compromise. It's a real option worth taking. Number 8. Carnival Vista. Vista was a genuine step change when it launched in 2016. The first Vista-class ship, introducing the Skyride, the expanded alfresco deck space, and a more coherent approach to outdoor living that Carnival had not quite achieved before. The Skyride is one of those features that sounds like a novelty until you actually use it. Suspended cycles over the ocean turn out to be exactly as entertaining as the marketing promises. Vista has more dining variety, a better designed promenade, and a layout that absorbs larger crowds more gracefully than the Dream Class. It holds up well in 2026. Number 7. Carnival Panorama. Panorama was the last purpose-built Vista-class ship, launched in 2019, and it sails from Long Beach year-round on Mexican Riviera itineraries. The West Coast deployment is a major selling point. It's one of the best-positioned ships in the fleet for passengers who live west of the Rockies. The ship has Fahrenheit 555, Guy's Burger Joint, a cooking school called Carnival Kitchen that gives it a genuine food-forward angle, and the full Skyride experience. For its market and its routes, Panorama is a strong choice. The Mexican Riviera itineraries pair well with the ship's relaxed resort-style personality. Number 6. Carnival Horizon. Horizon is Vista's sister ship, launched in 2018, and it refines the Vista formula without dramatically changing it. Slight layout improvements, updated venues, and 2 years of operational learning from Vista's first run all show up in small but noticeable ways. Horizon primarily sails from Miami on Caribbean routes, which puts it in the heart of Carnival's core market. The ship is comfortable, well-designed outdoor spaces, solid dining across multiple price points, and an energy level that hits the Carnival sweet spot without tripping over into overwhelming. If you're picking between Vista and Horizon for a Caribbean sailing, Horizon is the better call. Number 5. Carnival Firenze. Firenze is one of the 2 Venice-class ships, a former Costa Cruises vessel that Carnival relaunched with its fun Italian-style concept in 2024. The Italian heritage is not just marketing. The public spaces actually feel different, with a Venetian aesthetic that gives the ship its own personality within the Carnival fleet. Firenze sails from Long Beach alongside Panorama and Radiance, giving West Coast passengers a strong option. The blend of Carnival's programming with the Italian design language works better than expected. It's the most distinctive ship sailing from the West Coast right now, and that matters if you're trying to choose. Number 4. Carnival Venezia. Venezia is the first of the Venice-class ships launched in 2023 from New York, and it's one of the most interesting ships Carnival has ever deployed. The Italian design influence is richer here than on Firenze. Venetian-themed lounges, Italian-Mexican fusion dining, an aesthetic that feels more premium compared to standard Carnival design. Sailing out of New York on Caribbean and Bahamas itineraries, it gives Northeast passengers something worth getting excited about. The ship is larger than the Vista class, the venues feel more refined, and the overall experience sits a notch above what most passengers expect when they hear the word Carnival. Number 3. Carnival Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras launched in 2021 as the first Excel-class ship, and it changed what Carnival was capable of delivering. At 180,000 gross tons, it introduced Bolt, the first roller coaster at sea, along with a neighborhood concept that organizes the ship into 6 distinct zones, each with its own food, drink, and entertainment identity. The zones actually work. Different parts of the ship have different energy, which means passengers with different vacation styles can coexist without stepping on each other. The entertainment lineup, the dining variety, and the sheer scale of what Mardi Gras offers makes it the benchmark every future Carnival ship is judged against. Number 2. Carnival Celebration. Celebration launched in 2022 as the second Excel-class ship, and it takes everything Mardi Gras established and refines it. The neighborhood concept is sharper, the dining lineup is expanded, Bolt is back, and the overall ship feels more complete than even its impressive predecessor. Celebration homeports in Miami, which is the best possible embarkation city for Caribbean sailings. Easy flights, well-run terminal, and routes that take advantage of what the Eastern and Western Caribbean have to offer. If you're going to sail Carnival in 2026, and the itinerary works for you, celebration is the experience Carnival wants to be known for. Number 1. Carnival Jubilee. Jubilee is the newest Excel-class ship, launched in 2023, and it earns the top spot for one reason that the other ships on this list cannot match. It's the best version of everything Carnival does on the newest hardware deployed on itineraries that are still fresh. The Texas-inspired design touches give it a regional identity that feels intentional rather than decorative. Sailing from Galveston, it opens the Gulf and Caribbean market to passengers who previously had to travel to Miami or Tampa to find a top-tier Carnival ship. The 6-neighborhood concept, bold, the dining variety, the entertainment options. Jubilee delivers all of it on a ship that has not had time to get tired yet. This is the one. 29 ships, no universal best, only the best match for who you actually are as a traveler. Now, if you had to pick one Carnival ship for the rest of your life, drop it in the comments. Hit like, subscribe, and watch the next video. Your voyage is just beginning.